Before we discuss why Wii Sports was the perfect sports game, we need to figure out what a sports video game actually is. Let's start by listing some examples. NBA 2K, Madden, MLB The Show, FIFA, PES, Angry Birds, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 05, Fight Night. You get the picture. According to Wikipedia, a sports game is a video game genre that simulates the practice of sports. So think for a second, how do most sports games simulate the practice of sports? By flicking a stick? Mashing buttons? That's how it was for decades. The first sports game ever released was called Tennis for Two in 1958, using an oscilloscope. If you don't know what that means, an oscilloscope is a type of electronic test instrument that graphically displays varying signal voltages, usually as a two-dimensional plot of one or more signals as a function of time. Makes sense, right? Here's a picture of the game. As you can see here, the controller simply has a knob and a button. Visually, this was a sports game, by definition, but it could be improved in terms of user input. Over time, there were some advancements, wired attachments that simulate golf clubs and whatnot. But with Wii Sports, everything changed. You don't hit a button to bowl. You actually move your hand and release a button as if you were really bowling and releasing a bowling ball. You swing your remote like a golf club, with no strings or cords holding you back. You box by punching with both hands. You hit a baseball in real time by swinging your remote like a bat. You know that if they ask you to put a strap on your wrist, you know it's legit. If a sports game is meant to be a simulation of sports, then Wii Sports was, to that point in time, the ultimate sports game. The end-all be-all. Let's look at it this way. Your grandpa, 85 years old, severe back pain, maybe osteoporosis. He wouldn't pick up a PlayStation controller and play some virtual baseball if it would make him 25 years old again. He just wouldn't do it. But when Wii Sports dropped, every granddad and granny in the retirement home was pushing and fighting for a chance to play. You'd see Gretchen sucker punch Roseanne to death, simply to go bowling in Wii Sports. Blood was shed, and you need to understand why. This game had such a universal appeal because of just how immersive it was. What kind of boomer wants to learn the 47 button combinations on an Xbox controller just to play some golf? But with Wii Sports, it's like you're on the golf course. Just swing the remote like a golf club. It didn't need an explanation. This game was a massive reason, if not the main reason, the Wii sold more consoles than Microsoft or Sony, despite being just as powerful as the 2001 GameCube. The PS3 and Xbox 360 had HD graphics, but who cared? The average person didn't care if the games were in 480p as long as they could swing a baseball bat with their hands. That's why Sony came out with the Move and Xbox Kinect, and neither were successful like the Wii. Of course, Wii Sports didn't just attract the older folk. Within every good video game is a challenge. And while Mabel might be content bowling spares over and over, the hardcore, competitive crowd wanted to play Wii Sports. They wanted to push the game to its limits. Think about sports for a second. Every sport has an all-time great. Maybe it's a player, maybe a team. Michael Jordan and the Bulls, Muhammad Ali, Babe Ruth, Tiger Woods, Roger Federer, Lonzo Ball, Wayne Gretzky, Bruce Lee, the Patriots dynasty, the Warriors dynasty. All of these athletes or teams were the best of their respective sport at a certain point in time. In every type of competitive athletic activity, which is the true definition of sports, there is someone at the top, someone who cannot be beat, someone so talented they are feared. Most sports games fail to capture the magnitude of such greatness. Wii Sports, however, was once again ahead of the curve. Meet Matt. I took my wife to Woohoo Island, trying to get away from the dry, dull, boring grind of everyday life. I was so sick of sitting in a cubicle for 8 hours a day, crunching numbers, making copies, job stuff. So we went on a vacation to the Wii Sports Resort. One afternoon, my wife asked me, "Hey, Harold, can you go to the local supermarket? Grab some more top ramen for the next few days, we're running low." I obliged, took my time enjoying the scenery as I went on my little errand run. But when I returned to our hotel room, I heard sounds emitting from the bedroom that I normally would only hear on my birthday or when my wife needed some extra spending cash. I slammed the door open, only to find Matt himself, pounding my wife into the ground with his 12-inch hammer. I wanted to intervene. I wanted to stop it. I wanted to say something. But I could only stare back in awe. As they say, Matt really is the best. I never could have pleased my wife the way Matt did that afternoon, and we all knew it. Me? I lost my family, my life, custody of the children. But for Matt, it was just another day, and just another body added to his count. In Wii Sports, Matt served as the final boss in boxing. He will train you in the tutorials only to study your every move. While Matt actually wasn't that great at the other sports in Wii Sports, he was the greatest boxer to ever live. In Wii Sports Resort, he was also the swordplay champion. He is the only CPU character in the Wii Sports lore to be the champion of multiple sports, and in another game, Wii Party, Matt is also the top-ranked player. He wears an orange shirt because deep inside of him is a fire that has been burning since the prehistoric era. He wears silver boxing gloves because he earned them. In the training room, you see pictures of him on the wall from many years ago when he still had hair. He was the best back then, and he is still the best now. His one flaw is tennis, but every time he misses a swing, it only makes him stronger. His desire, his inner rage, it grows. Be scared. Because when you fight Matt in boxing, you will never be the same again. Matt will take your soul, rip it out, and then beat you to death with it. He shows no fucking mercy. His only goal in life is to destroy the hopes and dreams of anyone he comes across. So go ahead, beat him in tennis or baseball. Have a laugh, because it'll probably be the last time you feel anything again. Many have tried to beat Matt, most have failed. A YouTuber named Poofisher was able to beat Matt in Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort and film it. But Matt still got the last laugh, as he ended up dating his grandma and becoming his grandfather. At the end of the day, you don't beat Matt. Sometimes, very rarely, he might let you win, only to impact your life later in a horrific way. If you even want a fair chance of matching up with Matt, you'll need to spend hours upon hours practicing boxing. I'll keep this video short and sweet. Wii Sports, by definition, is the perfect sports video game.
I am legit feeling a strong 9 to a 10.